Hey y'all, it's Enemy came in and today I'm going to be reviewing episode 24 of Carole and Tuesday. And I gotta say, this finale was pretty darn good actually. Now, for one, I like how we finally get a satisfying conclusion as to what he meant by the spectacular 7 minutes that Gus mentions in every single episode, because I like how in this episode it builds up towards a grand performance, and I like how as the episode progressed you got to see everyone join in on it. You get to see GGK, Bitar join in to sing alongside Carole and Tuesday. One of the rookies to win the competition of the Grammys. You get to see Crystal, Angela, Desmond, everyone, and I was like, yo, this is some fantastic stuff, because in a lot of episodic series, they sometimes forget about some of their episodic episodes and they don't bring elements back into future episodes, even though, narratively speaking, it would enhance the experience. And I like it how in here, it decides to take elements from some of its episodic episodes and it decides to bring it back into full force. So that's what I really loved about this episode. It made it feel like the setting in Carole and Tuesday is only more vibrant and living. So it enriched things, and I like how it resolves multiple plot points, because now Valerie doesn't want to work with Jerry anymore, so I loved that sequence there to see Jerry's unsatisfied face. And for the most part, Angela's plot point is resolved because she decides to not have fun making music again, and she joins Carole and Tuesday in their grand performance, so I loved that, how that plot point is resolved. And for the most part, you get Tao pretty much explained that him and Angela were like genetically engineered babies, and he's gonna watch Angela from afar because he doesn't want Angela to go with him because her freedom would be restricted, because he feels like Angela should be able to perform music and be free. And I really loved how it shows you the growth in Tao's character. And then I like how it ends off with a beautiful performance from Carole and Tuesday about how you should go for your freedom, you shouldn't be afraid to take risks, and all that kind of jazz, and it has themes of like mothers and all that, and it was a really beautiful song, and I felt like the lyrics really fit in with the series, and it was such a beautiful song. So in all, it had all these bits and it was balanced, and that's what I felt from the story standpoint. At least in this episode, it was fantastic. And aside from that, what I also enjoyed about this episode was even see Valerie step down too. So you see some character development, because it shows you her honor system where she does not want to become president if it's through dirty means. So I like that. And I like how she resolved to try to become president through proper means, and she's willing to rebuild her character from scratch. So I like that. At least her public persona. And I like how you see some character development when she hears Tuesday perform, because you see her smiling. So that's actually nice, because it resolves kind of a plot point that was subtly introduced in episode 1 where she didn't approve of Tuesday's musical career, but now in this one you see that she legitimately does approve of it. So I like how that plot point is resolved. And it was cool to see the apartment keeper talk to Carole and all that kind of jazz, and also thank Tuesday for watching out for Carole. That was really, really sweet to hear that he actually gave Carole cheap rent rates, and that's how Carole was able to survive. Was another beautiful thing to see. I really, really love that. It only helps flesh out the sequences when they're in the apartment even more. It makes it more dynamic, and if someone were to watch the series, it would probably add a lot of perspective. It actually gives the series a lot more rewatch value. So that's why I felt it did great for that. And the Angela character development, where she admits straight up that she didn't like Carole and Tuesday's music because it reminds her of when she used to make music for fun, was really beautiful too. Because then you see Angela's growth, because now she's willing to make music for fun again, and she actually collaborates with Carole and Tuesday, and she actually hugs both of them when you see her earnestly enjoy making music with those two. That was really, really beautiful there too. So character growth for her. You get Tao's character development completed, because at this point he really does like Angela as a person. He's going to watch over her, but he just can't be with her physically because, well, the cops are after him. So I also love that too. And you see Gus at this point with the way he's looking at Carole and Tuesday perform music, seeing him smile was really beautiful too, as if It was a proud father looking at their children accomplish something beautiful. So all in all, just so many wholesome and heartful moments in this episode that really made it stick out to me. And that's why I felt this episode was fantastic from the character standpoint. And it was nice to get to see moments like Ezekiel look at the performance, Skip, even though he wasn't there in person because he was in jail, he was watching the video and he was twiddling his fingers as if he was there playing music with Carole, Tuesday, and everyone else. Was really nice to see. So even little details like that, like audience reactions, and even seeing Valerie smile while watching Carole and Tuesday's performance in a device was really beautiful. So all in all, this episode I think it wrapped things up neatly, at least as neatly as it could. And at the very least, it tied the political elements towards the music, at least to a certain extent. Honestly, it could have done it better, but for the most part, it did a fine job. And the animation art in this episode were spectacular. Some of the best animation I've seen in the series, so I gotta give it props to that. Voice performances were great. Music was really beautiful. And that's why I'm gonna rate this episode a 9 out of 10. And as for the series in general, I loved it. I mean, of course it has some weaknesses though that keep it from like extreme greatness, like the political element that was introduced midway. But save for that though, this series had way more positives than negatives. And I'd say overall this series is pretty darn good. And for sure I'm going to miss this one. And for the most part it was consistent. Great visuals all around. Great music all around. And some nice character moments all around. I mean, yes, I would have loved to have seen maybe a few more episodes to have seen Carole and Tuesdays. To see the aftermath of making these spectacular segments. To see how they deal with fame and all that. But aside from that, though, I really liked what I saw, even though the ending felt a little rushed. But overall, it was a fun time. So anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on Carole and Tuesday, episode 24 in the series in general. I'm going to probably put this series in my top 15 or top 20 animes of the year list. And yeah, y'all, these are my thoughts on the series. Comment down your thoughts on the series or the episode in general in the comment section below. Rate the video, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys later if you come back for more. Alright, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great and safe day. Bye-bye.